back, dear students. We were discussing about the chapter alcohols, phenols and ethers. In the last class, we learned about ethers and various preparation methods of ethers. Today we will discuss the chemical reactions. The reactions like halogenation, reaction with hydrogen halides, with PCl5 and carbon monoxide. Also, the electrophilic substitution reactions, how ethers undergo electrophilic substitution reaction, mainly the aromatic ethers, how they undergo alkylation, Friedel-Crafts alkylation, acylation, then nitration reactions, halogenation reactions, etc. we will discuss in today's session. So let's start. The first reaction, chemical reaction that we are going to study is reaction with hydrogen halides or reaction with HX. X can be halides, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Usually fluorine will not react. Reaction with hydrogen halides we are going to first study. So either ROR, isn't it? ROR either reacts with hydrogen halide HX to give corresponding alkyl halide, that is RX plus, and the corresponding alcohol ROH. This is the reaction with HX, hydrogen halide. Either reacts with hydrogen halide to give corresponding alkyl halide and alcohol ROH. Okay, if it is an aromatic ether, let's look. OR, aromatic alkyl group C6H5OR reacts with HX to give corresponding phenol plus RX, alkyl halide. Okay, this is the reaction of ethers, aromatic ether and the other usual ether with hydrogen halide. Okay, you will get corresponding one alkyl halide and an alcohol. It's clear from the equation, isn't it? An alkyl halide RX and an alcohol ROH. So, there are two alkyl groups, isn't it? R and R. If you put here R dash OR plus HX, then it will be R dash X plus ROH. Okay. Either there is two different alkyl groups. So, what forms is the formation of a primary halide? Okay. If there is a tertiary alkyl group and also a primary alkyl group, the halide formed will be primary. Okay, primary alkyl halide will be formed always. Okay. From when an ether reacts, there are two alkyl groups. If one alkyl group is primary, another can be tertiary or secondary anyway. Okay, then the formed alkyl halide will be always primary in nature. Okay, that is the important point. If the ethers have two different alkyl groups, and always the formation of a primary alkyl halide takes place with the SN2 mechanism. Another exception here is the reaction of ethers if one of the halide group is a tertiary group. Okay, if one of the alkyl group in an ether is a tertiary alkyl group, then the halide, there is an alcohol and a halide as a product, isn't it? The halide formed will be the tertiary halide, and this is with the SN1 mechanism. Okay, in general case, the primary halide will be formed always. Okay, if one of the alkyl group in an ether is a tertiary alkyl group, then the formed product will be what? Tertiary alkyl group. So consider this example. An ether with on one side the alkyl group is a tertiary alkyl group and another methyl group, isn't it? This is third butyl group with hydrogen iodide HI will react to form a methanol, isn't it? And also the tertiary alkyl halide. This is one of the exception. Okay, if the alkyl group is a tertiary alkyl group, then the formed alkyl halide will be the tertiary alkyl halide. One more important thing is the order of reactivity. Okay, order of reactivity of halides. Halides react with ethers in the order hydrogen iodide will fastly react compared to hydrogen bromide compared to hydrogen chloride. Hi greater than HBr greater than HCl is the order of reactivity of hydrogen halides or HX. This is the overall reaction with hydrogen halides. We will get corresponding alkyl halides and alcohols and two exception case. Okay, that also remember, and also the order of reactivity. The next reaction that we are going to study is halogenation reaction. The example of halogenation. Halogenation means addition of halogens, isn't it? CH3CH2 or CH2CH3. This is diethyl ether. When they react with a halogen Cl2, in the presence of dark, okay, not in the presence of light, in the presence of dark, what happens? One of the hydrogen, okay, in CH, here one more hydrogen is there, isn't it? One of the hydrogen will be replaced by chlorine. When an ether reacts with chlorine, one of the hydrogen will be replaced by chlorine and the other will be the same, okay. But when excess of chlorine, that is when diethyl ether react with 10 chlorine, okay, 10 moles of chlorine, in the excess of light, what happens is that all the hydrogens will be replaced. In excess and also in the presence of light, when chlorine react with diethyl ether, we will get what? All hydrogens will be replaced by chlorine and 10 HCl will be the byproduct. These are the two reactions, or the two halogenation reactions of dialkyl ether. The presence of chlorine and dark, and also in the presence of chlorine and excess of chlorine and in the light presence, okay, or in HNu. Next is the reaction with what? PCl5, phosphorus pentachloride. Ethers react with PCl5 to get the corresponding alkyl halide, okay. We will get the corresponding alkyl halide and phosphorus oxychloride, okay. Phosphorus oxychloride is POCl3. Ether, when it react with phosphorus pentachloride PCl5, we will get the corresponding alkyl halide, okay. 2 moles of alkyl halide you will obtain plus POCl3, phosphorus oxychloride. The last reaction is the reaction with carbon monoxide, okay, CO. Ethers react with carbon monoxide to get the corresponding ester, okay. Ester you will get here. When ethers react with carbon monoxide in the presence of a catalyst BF3, okay, BF3, boron trifluoride, and at 150 degree Celsius and 500 atmospheric pressure will give you the corresponding ester. So we can obtain ester from an ether by the reaction with carbon monoxide and also in the presence of BF3 and at 150 degrees Celsius 500 atmospheric pressure. We studied halogenation reaction, reaction with HX, alkyl halides, and what the reaction with PCl5 and also carbon monoxide. Each reaction is important. Please write down each reaction and study. Now we are going to study the most important part of this ethers, okay, ether section, that is the electrophilic substitution reaction of aromatic ether. Let's look how ether undergo electrophilic substitution. First let's look, okay, this is let's draw an ether OR, isn't it? This is an aromatic ether containing 2 lone pairs. So what happens is that donate the lone pairs to the ring and undergo delocalization. So first the lone pairs will migrate to here and this double bond migrates to this carbon, okay. So let's draw the resonance structure of aromatic ether. Here you will get a negative charge, isn't it? This bond migrates to here. You will get a negative charge and here you will have a double bond, isn't it? And the oxygen and an R group. Oxygen will be having a positive charge here. And the double bond here will be like this, and here also there is a double bond. This is the transformation, isn't it? And from here this negative charge migrates to here and this double bond will migrate to this carbon. So next structure will be, hope it's clear for you, okay. Here you will have a negative charge and this negative charge becomes a bond here. Here you will already have a bond and double bond OR. An oxygen will be having a positive charge along with 2 lone pairs. Okay. Now, this negative charge will go here and the double bond will migrate to this carbon. Okay. So, let's draw the next structure. So, we are having a double bond here, a negative charge here, and also double bond O positive R. Isn't it? Here we will have a double bond. Okay. So, what happens is that this negative charge will migrate to here and this double bond will go to here and you will get the original structure. Look. This negative charge goes here and here you will get an oxygen with 2 lone pairs and then R group, the original structure. This is the resonance structure of an aromatic ether. Okay, clear? First the lone pair goes to here, this bond, and this bond breaks, isn't it? Because the carbon valency is becoming 5. As the lone pair comes here, here a double bond happens. So, valence of carbon becomes 5. So, this double bond migrates to here. So, there will be a negative charge. And this negative charge becomes a bond here and then the carbon valency is unsatisfied. So, what happens? This bond comes to here and becomes a negative charge. Like that, negative charge travels here and then this double bond will shift to this carbon. Whenever the carbon balance is becoming 5, it will be unstable. So, it starts migrating and we will at last get the structure, original structure from where we have started. This is the delocalization of electrons inside an aromatic ether. So, here what you can see is that the negative charges here in the first structure in the ortho position, the second structure in the para position, here also in the ortho position. The negative charge is not present in the meta position, isn't it? Here it is present in the ortho position, that is to the nearest position to the ether group, isn't it? Here it is in the ortho position, here it is in the para position, and here is also it is in the ortho position of the ether. So it's what? Ortho para directing. Ortho para directing is the group. So what happens is that always the incoming group will come to the incoming electrophile will come to ortho and para position. Okay. Incoming group. In electrophilic substitution reaction, what happens? An electrophile will come and what substitute, isn't it? So, electrophile is electron deficient. So, it will come to the electron rich position. In an ether, the electron rich position is where? In the ortho and also in the para position. So, in electrophilic substitution of ethers, the incoming electrophile will come and occupy the ortho para position. Understood? As the electron density or the negative charge is more on the ortho and para position. So, let's look at different reactions of electrophilic substitution now. First, we are going to study the electrophilic substitution, that is halogenation reaction. Halogenation reaction. So, the simplest ether, aromatic ether is what? Anisole, isn't it? OCH3. C6H5 OCH3. This is anisole, okay. Anisole when react with bromine in ethanoic acid, okay. This is the first halogenation reaction. Bromine Br2 in ethanoic acid. Bromine in ethanoic acid will react with anisole and you will get what? I already told you electrophile. What is the electrophile here in bromine? Br2. The electrophile is Br plus. Okay. Electrophile is Br plus. So here in the ortho and in the para position the electron density is more. So the product will be what? Ortho product and a para product you will get, isn't it? You will get a ortho and a para product. Here there will be OCH3. First product will be what? An ortho product. And the second product will be a para product. OCH3. This is orthobromo anisole. Okay, orthobromo anisole. And this is what? Para bromo anisole. Anisole reacts with bromine in ethanoic acid to give orthobromo anisole and para bromo anisole. But this para bromo anisole will be the major. Okay, para bromo will be the major because here you can see there will be more steric hindrance as two groups OCH3 and Br are near. But in the para product they will be far from each other. So para bromo anisole will be the major product and orthobromo anisole will be the minor product in halogenation reaction with bromine in ethanoic acid. Okay, next Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. Okay, Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction. Alkylation. There are Friedel-Crafts acylation and alkylation. This is alkylation reaction. It is one of an electrophilic substitution reaction. Here, what happens? Anisole, isn't it? OCH3. Anisole reacts with alkyl halide. Okay, this is CH3Cl in the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride and carbon disulfide. CH2 and anhydrous aluminum chloride will give you an ortho product and a para product. Here the electrophile is what? CH3 plus. These electrophile will go to the electron rich position, that is the ortho position, also the para position. So you will get 2-methoxytoluene. Okay, this is toluene, isn't it? Benzene with a CH3 group, and in the second position OCH3 is present. So 2-methoxytoluene is the first product and 4-methoxytoluene is the second product. Here the para product will be the major product. So in the presence of anhydrous aluminum chloride and carbon disulfide, aromatic ether will get alkylated, and the reaction is what? Friedel-Crafts alkylation reaction, and the para product will be the major product. Now about Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction. We studied alkylation, now acylation reaction. So we are adding what? An acyl group. Okay, this is an acyl group, CH3COCl, acyl chloride. Okay, this is acyl chloride. Chloride. Okay, acyl means CH3CO. CH3CO plus will be the electrophile in this electrophilic substitution reaction. This will be the electrophile, and these anisole will react with acyl chloride CH3COCl. In Friedel-Crafts alkylation, CH3Cl reacted. Here the acyl group will react and you will get an ortho product and also a para product. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 position is it? This is a para product and this is the ortho product. Okay, that is 2-methoxyacetophenone you will get and 4-methoxyacetophenone, because C6H5COCH3 is what? Acetophenone. So to the acetophenone, sorry, this is what? 4-methoxyacetophenone and this is 2-methoxyacetophenone, and 4-methoxyacetophenone will be what? The major product. The major product will be what? 4-methoxy, or the para product will be the major and the minor product will be the ortho product. So acyl chloride react with anisole to give what? 4-methoxyacetophenone as the major product. This is Friedel-Crafts acylation reaction. Similar to alkylation reaction itself, and also here anhydrous aluminum chloride will itself be the catalyst used. Okay, AlCl3 and hydrous aluminum chloride will be the catalyst used in this reaction. The last reaction that we are going to study in electrophilic substitution reaction of aromatic ethers is the nitration reaction. Nitration. So NO2 group will be the electrophile, isn't it? When H2SO4 and HNO3 react, you will get what? NO2 plus as the electrophile, okay? NO2 plus will be the electrophile and they will react. Which is the electron rich position in an ether? It will be ortho position and also the para position. So an anisole will react with H2SO4 and HNO3 and will give you 2-nitroanisole or the ortho product and also the para product, that is 4-nitroanisole. You will get 2-nitroanisole and 4-nitroanisole as the product. One is the ortho product and the other is what? Para product, and the para product will be the major product. Para product will be the major product and the ortho product will be the minor product. So in nitration, the anisole react with sulfuric acid and HNO3 to get the ortho product and the para product will be always the major product. So in electrophilic substitution reaction, we studied halogenation reaction, Friedel-Crafts acylation, Friedel-Crafts alkylation and also nitration reaction. These four reactions are very important. Write and study also the reagents that are used in acylation, alkylation and nitration. So students, that's all for today. We are going to conclude today's session. I hope you understood each reactions. If you have any doubt, you can comment below. Thank you and have a nice day.